Hello, you lovely people. Today we are going to make something truly special. It is a dessert that everyone knows and loves. We are talking about a beautiful homemade apple pie. There is nothing quite like the smell of a warm apple pie baking in the oven. It fills your whole house with a gorgeous sweet scent. It reminds me of happy times, of family, and of cozy afternoons. This is more than just a recipe. It is about creating a little bit of magic right in your own kitchen. It's a proper classic for a reason, a real crowd pleaser that never fails to put a smile on everyone's face. Making a pie from scratch might sound a bit tricky, but trust me, it is easier than you think. I am going to show you how, step by step. We will make it simple and fun. We are not aiming for perfection here, we are aiming for delicious. A rustic homemade pie has so much more character, doesn't it? The little imperfections are what make it yours. So, roll up your sleeves and get ready. We are going to turn simple ingredients into something absolutely wonderful. This is a brilliant recipe for beginners, and a lovely one to make with the kids, too. Why is apple pie so popular? Well, it's the combination of flavors and textures that is just spot on. You have the flaky, buttery pastry that just melts in your mouth. Then you have the filling. It is full of soft, sweet apples. They are cooked with a little bit of sugar and a hint of spice. That contrast between the crisp crust and the warm, gooey filling is what makes it so irresistible. It's a comforting hug in a bowl, a real treat that is perfect for any occasion, whether it's a Sunday lunch or a special celebration. So let's get started on this brilliant baking adventure. Forget about those shop-bought pies. The one you are about to make will be 1,000,000 times better, I promise you. We will use fresh, simple ingredients to create a dessert that is honest and full of flavor. It's all about the love you put into it. By the end of this, you will have a stunning apple pie to share with your friends and family. And you will be so proud of what you have made. Let's do this. It's going to be absolutely pukka. Right then, let's get all our bits and bobs together. First, we need the ingredients for our lovely pastry. You will need 250 grams of plain flour. Get a good quality one if you can. Then, you need 125 grams of cold butter cut into small cubes. It must be cold, that's the secret to flaky pastry. Also, grab about 2 tablespoons of castor sugar and a pinch of salt. To bring it all together, you will need about 3 to 4 tablespoons of ice-cold water. That cold water is super important, so don't forget to pop some ice in a glass of water beforehand. Now for that gorgeous fruity filling. We need about 1 kilogram of good cooking apples. Bramley apples are fantastic for this because they cook down into a lovely, soft puree. But you can use whatever you like, really. A mix of apples is always nice for different textures. You will also need 100 grams of castor sugar, or a bit more if your apples are very tart. We want a lovely hint of spice. So get yourself 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And finally, a little squeeze of lemon juice will stop the apples from going brown. Simple as that. You don't need lots of fancy equipment for this job. Most of this stuff you will already have in your kitchen. First, you need a large mixing bowl for making the pastry. A simple pie dish is essential. About 23 centimeters is a good size. You will also need a rolling pin to roll out your pastry. If you don't have one, a clean wine bottle will do the trick. We will need a peeler and a knife to prepare our apples, and a chopping board to work on. A pastry brush is handy for the egg wash, but the back of a spoon works too. Let's make sure we have everything before we start. Having all your ingredients weighed out and your tools ready is called mise en place. It's a chef's trick that makes cooking so much easier and more organized. It means you can focus on the fun part, the making. So, check your list. Flour, butter, sugar, salt, and cold water for the pastry. Apples, sugar, cinnamon, and lemon for the filling. And a little egg or milk for the wash later on. Once you have all that lined up, we are ready to rock and roll. Okay, let's make our beautiful pastry. Pop your flour, sugar, and a pinch of salt into your big mixing bowl. Give it a quick mix with your fingers. Now, add your cold cubed butter. The key here is to work quickly. Using just your fingertips, rub the butter into the flour. You want to keep everything as cool as possible. Keep rubbing until the mixture looks like breadcrumbs. Don't overwork it. A few little lumps of butter are fine. They will make the pastry extra flaky and delicious. It's that simple, honestly. Now, we need to bring it all together into a dough. Make a little well in the middle of your flour mixture. Add about 3 tablespoons of that ice-cold water. Use a knife to mix it together at first. This helps keep it cool. Then get your hands in there and gently bring it together into a ball. If it feels a bit dry, add another splash of water. But be careful not to add too much. The dough should be soft, not sticky. Once it's a nice ball, wrap it in cling film and pop it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes to rest. This is a very important step. While the pastry is chilling, let's get our apple filling ready. This is the easy part. Peel your apples first. Then cut them into quarters and remove the cores. Now slice them up. Don't make the slices too thin or they will turn to mush. A nice, chunky slice is what we are after. Pop all your sliced apples into a big bowl. Squeeze over the juice of half a lemon. This will stop them from turning brown and will add a lovely zesty flavor. It's a brilliant little trick that makes a big difference. Next, we add the flavor. Sprinkle the sugar and the ground cinnamon over the apples. Get your hands in there and give it all a good mix. Make sure every slice of apple is coated in that lovely, sugary, spicy mixture. Have a little taste. Does it need more sugar? A bit more cinnamon? You are the chef, so you decide. Once you are happy with it, just set the bowl aside. The apples will start to soften and release their juices. That is exactly what we want. Our filling is now ready and waiting. Beautiful. Right, our pastry has had a nice rest. Let's get it out of the fridge. Lightly flour your work surface and your rolling pin. Cut the pastry into 2 pieces, one slightly larger than the other. The bigger piece is for the base. Start rolling it out. Keep turning it as you roll to get a nice, even circle. We want it to be a bit bigger than your pie dish. Carefully lift the pastry and lay it into the dish. Gently press it into the bottom and up the sides. Don't worry if it tears a little, you can just patch it up. Trim any excess from the edges. Now for the best bit. Spoon that gorgeous apple filling into the pastry case. Pile it up high in the middle. It might look like a lot, but the apples will cook down. Now, roll out the smaller piece of pastry for the lid. Make it just big enough to cover the pie. You can brush the rim of the pie base with a little water or milk to help the lid stick. Carefully place the lid on top. Press the edges together to seal it. You can use a fork to create a nice pattern around the edge. Cut a small cross in the middle of the lid to let the steam escape. We are almost there. For that lovely golden brown finish, we need an egg wash. Crack an egg into a small bowl, add a splash of milk, and beat it with a fork. Use your pastry brush to paint this mixture all over the top of your pie. Be generous with it. This will give your pie a beautiful, shiny glaze when it bakes. If you like, you can sprinkle a little extra sugar on top for a crunchy finish. Your pie is now ready for the oven. It looks amazing already, doesn't it? Proper job! Preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius or 180 for a fan oven. Place the pie on a baking tray to catch any drips. Bake it for about 35 to 45 minutes. You will know it's ready when the pastry is a deep golden brown, and you can see the filling bubbling through the steam vent. The smell will be incredible. Once it's cooked, take it out and let it cool for at least 20 minutes before you slice it. This is important, as it allows the filling to set. Serve a big, warm slice with a dollop of thick cream, a scoop of vanilla ice cream, or a puddle of lovely custard. Absolutely gorgeous!